Hello everyone and welcome to today's race at the fantastic Laguna Seca. Now we're going to be starting from the back here as I had two off tracks in my qualifying runs, so it's going to make it all the more interesting here as I'm going to have to fight my way through the pack. Now unfortunately we get a bad start here as you see how far ahead they are.
Green.
But we're going to stay in touch with them through this first part, as I'm expecting there's going to be a little bit of chaos, as there always is on this sort of opening lap. My goal is just to get through alive and in one piece. But so far they're through turn 1 all okay. You can see that blue LMP3 gets a big wiggle on, and there's another one spinning in front of us. We're going to dart to the right, trying to avoid any further incident. Now that has cost us some time, but importantly we are through in one piece. So we can start trying to fight back, and we'll have a look at what happened at the end of the race. I'm just going to stay in touch now and start clawing back some of that time. And it's going to be fun around here. Laguna Seca is a brilliant track, really fun in the LMP3. A little tricky in places, especially here at the renowned corkscrew. So really make sure I get the car stopped and make sure I get it just right between that tree. And you got this lovely flowing section here. We're doing well, we're keeping up and clawing back a little time to the car in front. Just got to keep doing that, but a lot of these drivers here are quite fast, so this is not going to be an easy one.
The gap in front is now 1.3
And as we
seconds.
complete the first lap, we are now up from P12 to P8. So that's a good result for us so far. Quite into the positive IR yet, but this is a long 30-minute race and there's going to be a lot going on for it, especially once we get up to those GT4s. But for now it's just head down, tuck in and keep putting in these laps. See, this is a nice long left-hander here up the hill. This is the trickiest section of the track here. It's that blind left drop. I'm a little timid there, which doesn't really get me any time to the car in front. Ooh, he's having a little bit of a wiggle ahead of us, car 11. Potentially feeling some of that pressure as I am still within less than a second now. So all I've got to do is keep doing what I'm doing and I might get in fighting distance with him. Gone wide there, which is going to compromise his exit.
The leader has just done
Just 4 tenths behind him now into the suction.
You're reeling while in the gap.
Not exactly a long front straight here though, so I'm not going to get much benefit from it. Best thing I can do here is just nail this first turn. But really carry that speed. It's not the first apex I'm aiming for. I'm trying to carry enough past that first apex, then come back on and get on the power before that second apex. Here's what the other tricky corners we've just gone through, trying to get that little lift and braking done and then get back on the power as soon as possible. Wales doing well ahead of us. He's got his composure back. And a little wide there though, that will be an off track. It's very easy to get one around there if you're a bit too hasty on the power. Again here at the corkscrew you cut a bit too much on that first corner, you can easily get another off track. You're a bit wide here. Didn't slow down quite enough, which is why I didn't get on the power.
Keep it nice and tidy. The leader
Very difficult to tell when you're going wide there, just because you can't see the edge of the curb until it's too late. No damage done. Just going to keep pushing now. Wales gone wide ahead of us. Not quite there. You can hear just how much I'm having to fight the traction control on the car. You need first gear to really get that good rotation. You're a little bit wide there. It's a tricky corner for me, judging the late turning that you need in order to get the best sort of angle. This was one of the brilliant ones though, you could really throw the car in and use the banking of the corner. Wales doing very well now, he's drawn himself up a second in front of us. And really this is the time I should be trying to close up and make moves, because it can get very difficult once we catch up to those GT4s. You can do the sort of multi-glass around here, but it is very difficult to try and get a safe pass on some of the other cars. Lord knows how the IMSA ones do it with both the GTP, LMP2 and the GT3s all in one go.
Eighth place. Your last lap time was a 1:18.94.
And we go much better through the first section there with turns 1 and 2. Just carried that speed. This is the awkward thing for me. I'm just trying to stay within reaching distance, and there's the first of the GT4s. It's like it is just a bat marker for now. We're going to catch him at a very bad time.
Slower class car ahead.
Looks like I'm going to get enough of an overlap here, so I'm going to send it on the inside cautiously. Bit of more of a lift.
The gap to
I'm not turning too early.
Ahead is now
That red sausage curve on the inside will just completely spin you round if you hit it. Second GT4, another bat marker. This one's not too bad. I can just go down the inside here. Bit more of a lift and a bit of braking there, just to make sure the car stays to the inside. And a bit too early on the turn in there, which is why I clattered that inside curve. You see there's an LMP3 in the pits there. Looks like someone's gone off, but they were behind us. And our wheel has caught up to the next car ahead of him, so I'm hoping at this stage they might start battling. But it looks like they're not quite there with each other just yet. A bit too early on the brake and turn in there. It's judged it, which slowed me down. See the helpful windshield wipers, that dirt is starting to gather up on the front windscreen, but that windscreen wiper just doesn't really cover the area you're looking through when you're driving this car. Bit too feisty, but I managed to keep it on the track. You can see up ahead another GT4, the red Mercedes, slowed them up a little bit there. Now it's really slowing up car 21, Rio.
Car ahead is
break
Del Rio,
myself.
car number 21. Slower class car ahead. Keep it within the track limits.
Normally with something like that, as long as you can keep it far enough to the left, you can get away with it and just take the off track like I did there.
There's an incident in turn 11.
Go too far right, you will also get a slowdown.
Yellow flag.
And another GT4 off there, the Aston, who does the correct thing and hoses the brake, and we stay a bit to the left just to play it safe. Very cautious of a lot of the GT4 drivers around here. My previous race did have some bad rejoins. The next GT4 is slowing them up. The traffic is working in my favour here, but now it's going to hurt me badly. That
Car
Mercedes
left,
got
clear left.
slowed up by the LMP3s, and then that really put him out of position for me to get past him. So the gap has grown, but if it carries on I might still be able to get back into fighting distance with them. A little bit early on the turn in there, so I had to back out of it
2.0.
and get safely past this
Car
Porsche.
left. Yellow flag. There's an incident in. The court looks like
Something's happened. That Porsche stayed alongside us,
car in
which
front, left side.
made it awkward as I had to really
left.
slow down and stay to the right there. And again, I'm going to hurt here a bit, but I can get underneath
Left
this
side.
McLaren a lot
Clear
easier.
left.
All that has cost us a lot of time to the next LMP3. As you can see, they're almost 3 seconds ahead of us here.
Olivier is reeling you in. The gap's now 1.7 seconds.
And as crew chief has helpfully pointed out there, we're being caught by the LMP3 behind us just because of how much we got slowed up through that last lap. Done well there actually, we managed to claw back a second already on them, so they might have been fighting through that first sector. This is exactly what I can hope for whilst I'm in this nice clean air, where you can see the next GT4 is already ahead of us. Thankfully they're all nice and spaced out, so it's not too bad. See here we've got a mega run, we're really catching up to Rio here, but I'm going to slot in behind this BMW and try and play it safe. I might have thought I was going to send it down his inside there, so you can see he was a bit slower.
Clear right.
We make the safe pass, which is the important thing there. Again, hopefully with this Porsche I can do the same, but he's actually quite fast through the corner, so we're only going to be alongside him here.
Hold your line.
And try and hold it wide and hope for a bit of a cutback. But he just doesn't quite move off the line as I expected him to. I just opt to take it along the right hand side as I didn't think I'd be able to make the turn onto his left side.
These guys will be fighting for position, they might not see you.
And again we were slowed up, so you can see in our rear view mirror there Olivia, and I get a big slide trying to short shift into second gear. So all I can do is let him pass at that stage and gather my composure back up. See, this is going to hurt here. But the Porsche does go wide, and Olivia is also slowed down ahead of us by the second Porsche. I make the send up the inside here because I know I can brake a bit later and carry the speed better into the corner. See, Olivier gets really held up there, trying to go side by side. So we're going to make the move here, and we've got the momentum to be ahead into the corkscrew, which is the important thing here.
Good pass.
I'm just going to time it to get past this Mercedes.
Car clear right.
And I'm just going to hold it to the inside.
In front is Del Rio, car number 21.
Back ahead. See, thankfully as well, I'm coming to the last of the GT4, sorry, one of the last ones.
You can go on the inside, you need to leave me more room on the outside there.
And he's very kind to move across there. I've got to really focus at this point because I know Olivia is quite fast behind us. So if I want to hold on to P8, I'm going to need to pull everything out. I'm now sizing up watching these GT4s ahead of us, and I'm planning we're going to catch this Porsche a lot sooner than I'd like to. I'm going to try and set up the exit, but he's really slow on the apex.
Car right.
Caught me by surprise. Thankfully we were able to slow down in time, but this has really brought Olivier into contention behind us. Watch that Porsche as he goes wide. I was worried he's going to come back across, but he stays to the right. This never seems to end as we're going around here.
Coming up on a slower class car.
This is the last two of the GT4s ahead of us. And it looks like we're going to get into the last corner with this McLaren. I'm just going to try and follow him through and get the exit. He's actually quite fast through there.
Clear right.
I don't think there's really much of a difference in that kind of low speed corner between the LMP3 and the GT4s. But it's worked a bit in our favour as we almost have a second gap to Olivier behind us. And we also seem to be catching a little bit now to Rio, as I can see them ahead of us again, along with the leader of the GT4s. It's looking like we're going to catch them on the way up to the corkscrew if I can get this just right here. If I can get enough momentum to get past him easy enough. And he has good attention on him, sees us coming and stays to the right. It's a little bit squiggly behind us though, you can see him taking a bit of that sand on the outside. But we're all through okay there. And Olivier seems to have had a bit of a moment, he's dropped back to nearly 2 seconds now. As I clatter the curve myself, so I'm not doing that much better. But the car is still going, so that's all that matters for now. And Rio isn't that far ahead, so if something happens,
bummer.
or if I pull my finger out, we might still be able to catch
That
them.
lap was at 118.54.
Felt a bit of a micro lock up then, which is why I came off the brakes, and we're a bit slower than we should have been.
You're halfway home. Your fuel is fine.
Our fuel is more than fine, actually, looking at it. We'll have extra 4 litres at the end of this race. So I am a bit overfueled with this setup. I've not really done the calculation.
There's an incident in the corkscrew.
Oh dear, that's not what I want to hear.
Reggie curve.
Got the green warning there, so you can see that they're moving. Whatever happened is already cleared up. Very helpful, that part of the eye overlay. So for those that don't know, as long as that's green, that shows that the car is moving that's had the incident. If it's yellow, they are stationary, and red normally means that they're about to get towed.
That lap was at 118.55.
Settled in now. I'm not exactly going the fastest because I can normally get into the low 18s. You can see on the relatives I have a bit of a slip there again. My best is actually a 117, but that was done in probably more optimal conditions. Go wide there. I don't quite trail brake in as I should, and the car's off balance.
Car clear right.
Nice easy send there, so we're catching up to the GT4 back markers once again. But at least now we're over halfway through the race, and see the green there, which normally means they've taken the sand just like I do there myself, and get the off track.
Watch those lines.
I'm not exactly the best as a sim dentist when it comes to this track. I'm catching this Porsche show again, going to set up for the exit, though I do brake a bit too early there. And the Porsche is a little bit squiggly, which is why I go far left, just in case we're about to lose it.
You've used half your fuel.
Make sure there's a nice safe gap.
Olivier behind is
I'm catching this Mercedes, and we see that I can get a nice send down the inside. And I hold it close.
Clear right.
I'm not sure why they went wide there, but they've missed the apex completely. Hopefully I didn't spook them. I was at least trying to show that I was going to telegraph the move nice and early.
Slower class car ahead. You're reeling.
Good run there.
The gap is now 2.0.
I'm not going to quite be there, so I'm just going to aim for the exit again on this BMW.
Car right. Clear right.
Lose a little bit of time, but you can see ahead Rio is also losing time as that Porsche goes wide. I'm conscious that they might slip over to the left side, but they are keeping an eye on their rearview mirror, thankfully for us. Now I can see it's going to be a very awkward time for this Mercedes, so I'm going to try and get them after the apex here, but they're very slow, and then they try and stay further to the left, which compromises my run as I've got to slow up. But we do get past eventually. Outbrake myself a little here, but it's not too much of a loss. We get this McLaren quite easily before turn 1.
That lap time was 120.
Make sure I stay to the left.
Cost me half a second, Pablo.
Right side's clear.
Really got to be careful coming on the power there, but I've got to get it down to keep the momentum going.
Looks like it's Olivier.
And something's happened to Olivier behind us based on what Cruce said, and we can see him in the relative dropping off with the yellow flag.
Thank you, mate.
That's a right shame, as he was doing well to keep up with us through the first half of that race. Never like to see someone go out like that, but at least it looks like he is still going for now. And for our race, we're still there, less than 2 seconds to Rio ahead of us. So this is not over yet. definitely find a lot more time around here though, but at least for now,
10 minutes to
we're
go.
not
That's
too
10
far
minutes
off the
left.
pace.
There'll be chances here. Let's make sure we can take them. Incident in turn 3. Yellow flag, caution.
Got a yellow flag, but I'm not seeing anything. We've got the green on the eye overlay, so whatever happened, they're already moving. I'm focused now on really nailing all these corners, but I'm going to get caught up here by this Aston ahead of us.
Coming up on a slower
Looks like I
class
can get
car.
him on the exit. Just got to stay low.
Car right,
That
clear
one's
right.
not too bad.
You're reeling Del Rio.
Almost a
in.
second
Gap
now.
is 1.2.
Oh, you can see he's gone wide there. He's gone over the top, so there's a good chance he's got a slow down. Now he's been very slow through here as well, so he's probably just trying to bleed it off as he goes. I'm trying to capitalise on this by really carrying the speed through there. Now nail this exit. Just not much of a toe down this front straight, so I'm going to be following through this next lap more than likely, unless he makes a mistake. You can see big group up ahead of us.
Slower cars ahead. These guys are scrapping for position. They might not see you.
Send it down the inside of that Mercedes, which keeps him wide, and that works for me. But again, yeah, I can see I'm going to get caught by this BMW, unless, yep, once again he stays wide.
You're right.
So I'm just going to follow
right.
Rio through here. This will be awkward. It's
Car
going to be
right.
stuck on the inside, so I need to
Clear
be
right.
cautious. Just like that, not turn in too early and class of that inside sausage curb.
You're coming up on a slower car.
Go nailing the corkscrew, and so does Rio this time. I'm very cautious with this Porsche just in case he's going to come across in
On your
front
right.
of us.
Right side's clear.
He does see us coming and stays wide, but we've lost some time, and I clattered that inside curb, which really throws off the car. Thankfully I don't really get any damage from those, but it has slowed us up. Now we're going to catch this Porsche into
Slower
the
class
first
cars
corner.
ahead.
I'm going to get past this
Car
first
clear right.
one, but the second one's going to be very awkward. Just trying to get down that inside and get the
Car
power
left.
down.
Clear left. The gap to
That's
Del Rio
cost us
ahead
another
is
second
increasing.
now,
It's
as Rio's now
1.9
nearly
seconds.
2 seconds ahead of us.
Thank you.
You can see the windscreen's got quite a bit dirty with all the sand around here. And that wiper's not doing much to help. See, Rio's got held up by that Porsche ahead of us. As long as I nail this, we're going to make some good time up.
Slower class car ahead.
Ooh, I'll get a slide as I go a little bit wide onto the sand. So I've lost a bit of that time I just made up
You've
to
just
Rio.
done 119.27.
It's not over yet. You can see 2 more LMP3s just ahead. So we've got up to P5 in this group if we can catch up to them. Especially towards the end of this race, they're going to start fighting more and more, which could give us opportunities. So it's not over yet.
Minutes of fuel remaining. coming up on a slower class car.
Looks like this Porsche is going to hold him up
5 minutes
quite a
remaining,
bit.
5 minutes left.
Now it's going to hold us up through this second section, so I'm going to try and go... No, I'm going to cut back here.
Left side.
I thought about going around the outside, but there's not really much of a move there for that kind of thing. We still get ahead safely. I've not lost too much time to Rio ahead. We're all still in reach, which is what I'm hoping for here. So Rio's really pushing as he goes wide there, and now he's being held up by that McLaren, so we can't capitalise on this.
The gap in front is now 0.7.
Look to send it.
Car right cleared, car right. Right side's clear.
Thankfully the McLaren does see us. That was very cheeky of me considering how late it was.
Push, push, push. We can get this guy.
I was ready to back out of that if McLaren did move over. So that's why it was really only a half send. That was my inner dentist. We are now right up behind Rio. We're going to go down the inside of this BMW, so I'm going to hold it tight.
Right.
I'm just going to see if Rio's either going to get caught by some more traffic, though we have only one more GT4 ahead of us and it's the leader. I'm just going to hope I can hold off my mistake and wait for his mistake if it is going to happen. There's not really that many passing opportunities around here. Do well, get a good exit out of there as Rio goes wide ahead of us. Carrying the speed, I have to back off because I can see I'm going wide.
You're a fucking beat.
Oh dear.
Don't kill me.
Slower car ahead.
I'm
This guy's
sure the
class
iRacing stewards will have something to say. You can see LMP3 off ahead of us.
There's an incident here.
Car number
Corkscrew.
5, that was part of the group ahead
Car
of us.
left. Clear left.
Really checking up here just in case something was going to happen between Rio and him.
On your right.
Rio's
Clear
gotten
right.
spooked and he's gone wide, which has gifted us the position.
Good pass. Eyes front.
Not quite sure what
incident
happened
here.
that started
Turn 10,
that whole
yellow
thing
flag.
off, so we'll have a
Watch
look
out,
at
the
the
next
end
car
as
is
another
Valentin.
GT4
Car
off
number
just
5.
behind us. Definitely going to have a few incidents to review at the end of this race. But we're now up to P7 with
Just 2 minutes left.
at least
2
2
minutes
more
to
laps to go now.
P7.
And make sure I stay ahead of Rio
Car right
and
side's
see
clear.
what happens with Valentin ahead of us. So in the rear view mirror, Rio goes wide then, takes a lot of time. You have to wonder if Valentin might have damage from whatever happens, so I'm in watching just to see if he's struggling through any of these corners or if he's slow on the straight with aero damage.
You're coming up on a slower car.
That Porsche very wisely backs off there. Surprisingly slowing himself down, and that keeps us right up behind Valentin here. You see car 11 just ahead of us, not too far. But it's certainly going to be an exciting last lap here. Oh, 2 more actually.
That lap was a 118.64.
This BMW really holding him up, so I'm just going to be patient here. I'm really going to send it around the outside of that BMW, there's no other way. And we both go wide for it, so that's another off
We
track.
just had a warning for cutting the track. That's 5 minutes of fuel left. The leader's just done a 116.49.
Oh, you can see the next
There's an
car's gone off ahead of
incident.
us.
Turn
And
right.
he's
You think it
rejoining.
might be wild.
Oh, that was a dangerous rejoin there. To make sure I stayed left. And we've got another GT4 spinning ahead of us, so I'm staying right here. It's all really kicking off now. We're staying tucked up behind Valentine just to see if he makes a mistake. As long as I can keep it clean through here, we might be in with a chance of P5. See, he really checks up there.
Car clear right.
Caught me by surprise. Now we've got Rio right behind us. I've got to watch him in my mirror just as much as I'm watching Valentine ahead. And finally, we have the white flag. Going to be pushing still on this last lap. We're dead in the middle between the two cars.
6th place. One more to go.
And the LMP is also really nice and light now, so it gives you a lot more confidence. There we go, make sure I nail that corner. Again, get on the power here, though I have that little confidence lift because I can see myself going wide.
Good race, good.
Oh, this is all still very close here. See, he has a bit of a moment, and that throws me off, and we go wide and take another 1x.
The stewards have warned us for cutting the track. Keep it between the white
My
lines.
hard work going to waste.
Of 5 incident points.
See just how much we're pushing it through the corkscrew.
Coming up on
They're
a slower
really
class
throwing
car.
the car and using the aero to keep it in the straight. Now this is going to get very awkward here, so I'm going to try and set myself up for the exit, but he really slows up. So I'm going to try and look
Left
down
side,
the
clear
inside.
left. On
I'm
your
going to get
right.
caught by his braking.
Still
Just
there.
try and stop and not go into him.
Still
And he
there.
comes back against us. It's a race to the
He's still
finish
there.
line, so we're going to see how this finishes.
Right side's clear.
And we just lose out at the finish line,
P6,
so
there's
let's
the
have a
finish.
look
Good
at
drive.
what happened right there. So watching from our perspective here, we're chasing him into the corner. He's going to get held up by that Aston. I watch my mirror here, which is why I don't move to the left. And then he brakes early, which catches me off guard, so I'm trying to not hit him into the corner. But we find ourselves into a drag race now to the finish line. You can see he is just ahead of us, unfortunately, after that little love tap, which took some of our momentum away. So we're going to look from the car behind us, and they're following in, and they've got the perfect run here. And I'm just holding them off as they look to the inside, so they try to the outside but lock up. You'll see in a second the car that was behind them is now racing them to the finish, and unfortunately they're going to lose out at the finish line, which made this an amazing little end to both of our races. So we're looking ahead here. This is how Valentine lost it. He goes onto the sand just on the outside. He manages to save the car though, but that loses all of his momentum. And then looking to the outside, he's not able to do it. And then he brakes a bit too late there and just about manages to stay out of his rear. This was a few laps later. This was the car ahead of us. You're going to see he's going to lose it just coming into the corner, and into the sand he goes. It's a bit of an odd rejoin, but we are safely through. And so that wraps everything up for this race. I hope you have all enjoyed this. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.